Okay.
So I mean, this podcast is about teaching people how to take care of plants.
Okay.
People that are starting,
Okay.
people that just they got intrigued about the plant business. Maybe they want to start a nursery. Uh, Mainly to inspire people
Mm-hmm.
to get to learn your best tips, get to learn what this industry entails. Definitely get people to know your story.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the main intention. Get your followers. I'm gonna tag you and we're do a collab on Instagram
Okay.
if you want to.
100%. Yeah, we can do it.
But definitely let your audience get to know you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So get to a personal level. Get to understand your beginnings, your struggles. Get to know a little bit of your journey. So
Okay.
maybe I know it's a lot to cover.
It's a lot.
It's a lot,
No, but that's fine.
but
No,
it's
we can jump in.
yeah.
So one of the things that I love about this, and I was thinking about, with you and watching, because I watched what you've done. I've listened to a few of the podcasts. I've watched them on YouTube, the ones that you
Nice.
posted, and it's people that love plants, and we have a podcast called the Planterview Podcast that we have interviewed everybody on there.
Huh.
Okay, started with a love of something in the industry.
You have like 75 episodes so far.
Yeah. We're at 72, I think.
72.
Yeah, we took a little break right now, something personal going on, but we're already working on more. But these people, these individuals, they start off, some of them, with really loving plants, just having some in their house,
Huh.
and then from there they're like, man, there's I really love the culture, I really love the community. So then some people want to become entrepreneurs, and you can. This industry for me is abundant. Literally, there's thousands of different niches that you can jump into and become the
Right.
best at. In this industry, the green industry, feel like God has His hand over the industry, and get involved. I feel like getting involved is so important, because there's one thing looking from the sidelines and trying to paint a picture, but when you get involved, now you have the opportunity to put yourself, let's say, in a failure position where you thought something was like this, but then you see that it's not. And you're like, oh, and now you learn from it. And from there you go, if you wanted to become an entrepreneur. I'm currently mentoring a few people right now that are starting off in different states. So I'm learning the market over there as well. I'm learning how everything flows based off what they learn.
Yeah, because we have the beauty of Florida, right?
Yes.
The warmth, a few changes in temperature,
Yes.
but not as crazy as all the states.
No. So we are right now. We're in Miami-Dade County. Miami-Dade County is the largest county in the United States for horticulture nurseries. All right. So we're in the motherland. So everything comes through here either by port and then keeps going, or it's cultivated and grown here and then it keeps on going. South Florida.
Right.
But Miami-Dade is the largest county because of the climate. But my story is very long. It starts off as a young kid that watched his father get in the industry and grow. So I was the kid with the rubber boots outside running around. I grew up very country life out here in the Redlands.
And what's your name again?
My name is Willie Rodríguez.
And this company
is
A's
Ornamental Nursery. We have a few different companies. I'll go through a few of them. But now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine, my friend. So I was the kid that watched someone else grow and then also fall. So, because my family lost everything in 2009.
Okay.
So I learned a lot, right? I was in the ups when everything was up and all the crazy big moves, like big entrepreneur moves, or like, be able to sell the lows and all these different things. I got to witness all of that happened, how the trucks moved. I got to witness all that and live it as a young kid. And then I saw it fall. So then I felt like it was my turn to do something. And the opportunities presented themselves and I made decisions, and I'm still here based on my decisions. And we started with a small 5-acre piece, and here we are today. With 80 acres of product, almost finished. We just purchased 20 acres. We're filling it up to put land on the map for horticulture, and then now we're like in the phase of just perfecting within is where we're at. We always chase more. chase more. Let's go chase more. But what about what's going on right now in here? Who can we serve in here that can really move the needle for them as a human, which will then boost them up, and from there now we can grow, man.
Yeah.
There's so much opportunity. So that's what we're working on now. Finding lack and fulfilling with abundance. So wherever there's an issue, a problem, something's not done right, it's off, we left it on the back burner, something that maybe earlier generations taught us because we all learned from the neighbor.
Right.
So just because the neighbor does it this way doesn't mean it's the right way. So it's actually breaking down these barriers at the end of the day and like doing the things you don't want to do.
And do you document all these new best practices, new formats of?
We document what we can. There's too many moving parts
Mm-hmm.
to document it all, but we document what we can. And like the 20-acre piece when we got it, one of the things that I was called to do was, man, no one has any like knowledge about this stuff on a mass scale like this on social media or YouTube or nothing. So I saw it as a huge opportunity to educate others that want to get into the industry on being able to do so, like having confidence how to do so. Like if someone knows that if they really needed guidance, they can hit us up. So over time you grow. I think the biggest thing is you grow by putting yourself in crazy situations. But my love for plants definitely turned on this whole aura,
Huh.
the love for plants, because I looked at the plants. Remember, I grew up in plants, so it's like
What was the first plant that you ever
Liriope,
interacted with?
Liriope,
What kind of plant is
Liriope.
that?
It's a little green grass. My
Huh.
father had an acre, like 3/4 of an acre. He rented from a guy that had an acre and a quarter, and half acre was the house, and the 3/4 was his, so less than an acre. And it was all 1 gallon green Liriope. And that's what, and mondo grass, which is this grass that's on the other side of us. It's that little grass.
What attracted you about that plant in particular?
No, it
Looks
wasn't so much the plant, it was the atmosphere. I'm outside, I'm a young boy, I can catch a lizard, I
right.
can be myself, I can be a wild, crazy, fun boy, and plants were just part of it. But my love really started to grow for the plants when I took it more serious than just this is a business.
Mm-hmm.
When I started like really like paying attention to what's going on and how beautiful life is, and how at that point I have kids, so I'm changing as a man, right? And then now it's like, man, this is so beautiful. How in the world are there these many beautiful plants with these so many different colors, so many different patterns, they grow so many different ways? How can we implement like the structure of how this plant grows to be able to like make it for this architect that wants that beautiful design? Like, how can we do that? Your mind starts going and it starts traveling. And then since I have a background of business, I have a background of now, the love, how can we intertwine it and do something for a market that understands it? And that's where I started jumping into a niche market, which was a higher end architect, landscape, the whole art side of our industry.
Mm-hmm.
We sell to everybody, but our niche clients are garden centers that sell more high end, like tailored to like people that move fast, that need things done, they want it right the first time, like that experience. We tailor it to that because we see that is where we get to be the most creative. So like if and that has to do with, you have to be in the industry to find that out. That's why I say, if you have any inkling to go to, and like I know, and you guys that collect plants, you go to the markets, you buy plants online, you listen to live videos, all these different things. You're intertwining, you're chatting, you're getting involved in some form of way into what the green industry is, and then if that's your gateway to jump into it, that's your gateway. That's what God sent for you.
Yeah.
So take it and move and see what happens. I started one place, I ended up somewhere completely different. And tomorrow it's going to be another adventure.
Yeah.
And next year, 2025, it'll be 26, it'll be another adventure. Right. And you have to be okay with that too. Like there's a lot of things. I feel like growing as a human is the most impactful thing. Because there's so much more to grasp about life than what we've learned from just growing up, however we grew up. If you stayed in one place. Like for me, I've been in the same place my whole life. I have traveled, but I've lived and grown up in the same area my whole life. So I know more about this market. I live and breathe it every day.
Of course.
But there's a lot of people that live here and they have no clue about it. We're invested, we're involved, and from this, from the niche, we've been able to find where there is lack. And there is lack in this industry in a lot of different places. Like one, the podcast was something big that we were able to do that has helped a lot of people. It has moved the needle, not just for us, but for the entire industry. It's becoming the voice of the industry, okay? A marketing platform, just like the other platforms that are out there to sell product. This is another one that you have eyes engaging and ears engaging. So we want this to be able to bless the industry as well. So we have that we've had to overcome a lot of things to be able to get to where we are with the podcast and what it's done. But it's moved a lot of needles, and we've learned a lot. We've overcome a lot as men. We've grown. I have a partner there with that. And then from there, it's finding other things. We started a trucking company to give more opportunity to our drivers.
Wow.
Because during slow season,
Right.
I have more drivers than I need.
But tell me, how is it that they're in slow season when we're in the peak season of?
Okay, so there's
plants?
seasons that are planting seasons.
Right.
There's seasons that, like,
see.
so we sell to the rest of the United States and other parts of the world. The rest of the United States is freezing, 8 months out of the
Yeah.
year. So they have summer and spring a little bit, and that's it.
Right.
So most of the nurseries that you see out here are catered to that market.
Got it.
The bigger nurseries, they do 10,000 ferns, a million ferns. They're catered to other states and other markets, even other countries like Canada and other places. We're in the landscape community, so we move more, like 12 months out of the year. We're constantly moving, but there is slower seasons. People take vacations.
Of course.
There's hurricane seasons. People hold
Sure.
back. It's like, man, I don't want to spend $100 or $1 million on a landscaping right now when we have hurricane whatever brewing out there.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that have to do with how things and why things slow down. But we take that time to replant and refill everything up and all of that. But like plant logistics, back to that real quick, finding lack and creating abundance. I said, man, if I invest money in switching out all of the vehicles that are under the company name, okay, which is a liability, I shouldn't even have done that. But it's something that when you're young and you don't know and you start out with 1, 2, you just do it like that. And before you know it, you have a fleet and you're doing it bad. You have one accident and they can take everything that's in that company's name.
Yeah.
So, you grow and you learn. You learn when you need to. And from there, I switched everything. I made the decision. It cost a lot of money to do so during a time that I wasn't selling product. But I made the decision to do so looking out for the better outcome of my guys.
Of course.
Okay, because I want my guys to be here on staff. I want them to feel confident. I want them to make moves in their life, okay, knowing that we're good when it comes to my job. I want them to be strong and move with that same flow. So we have to create that. Okay, so how do we create that? Okay, let's go public. Let's give our same drivers our same service that we offer for our clients, that tailored service. Let's offer that to everyone that needs it. So we have people that you would say is your competition just because they have a nursery using plant logistics.
Right.
Okay, but it's on point. Our drivers arrive on time. We have a tracking system that it alerts you when the driver leaves. You know where he's at. If he's got 4 stops for you, you know where he's at throughout the whole day. It makes everything just easier, better, and we're doing that, finding lack and replacing with abundance. So it makes other people look good. And I'm way past that of competition. We don't have competition. We work together, and we all have different niches, and we're all good at different things. So we need to find out what we're good at and become better at it. So we can all be leaders, not competition, in my opinion. Yeah, that's how I think.
I think working together, we all grow.
We all grow.
We collaborate and we help each other we all have different strengths and weaknesses. So helping others, like helping each other, you build something better.
You build,
right?
yeah, it's a community.
Your community.
We move the community.
And that's essentially my initial intent with this podcast is to, with my page on Instagram, is to build a community so that we can all help each other grow. Of course, grow in size of people that follow us, the number of views we get, of course, but give you a place for you to get more people to follow you.
Yeah.
Get more people to learn from your knowledge. Everybody has different sets of knowledges. So together, building that community, we're able to.
Oh, 1,000%. If that's where you move, so how do you get that? Right. So that's the strategy, and that's what I love. Okay. So I love to strategize. I love to implement. I love to think and create, and let's go. So how do you do that? Consistency.
Yep.
Okay, that's how that's built. Like today, I have H1 and we do a lot of promotion on the stories. The
Mm-hmm.
stories is like movement of what's going on, what's
Right.
available, and I saw that as an awesome opportunity back in the day. Not just no one was doing it, but I saw it as an opportunity to give people the sense of peace on what they're seeing is real. Because in our industry, the biggest hurdle is if the picture matches the crop. Okay,
Yeah.
so in our industry is, hey, let's take a picture. Oh, send me a pic. The guy's somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You're sending a pic. He doesn't know if every plant looks like that that you're gonna
Right.
send,
Right.
or you have five that look like that. And there's a lot of people that waste people's time. So the guys that are really trying to move the needle, they get hit because everyone else is slacking. The slackers,
Uh-huh.
right? I hate to be like that,
Yeah.
but the slackers ruin the other guy. So then now he's got to find alternatives. So I saw that as a way that I'm like, man, I'm pushing myself. I'm putting myself against the wall. It's only up for 24 hours. So I gotta like move. I gotta create this. So that's what we did, and it's been almost 5 years now putting stories, and I can tell you that it has changed the game. It has changed the game. It has been a huge part of just what we are today. But it's not just Instagram, because people put Instagram on this pedestal.
Right.
It's the effort that's been put in, and then it's also the person that you become. Okay, doing it, and then understanding the market, understanding different things. Instagram is a false sense of gratification.
Yeah.
And it's something that we have come up with big time, because we've been presented with a lot of people that think that you do a few videos and you pay a videographer $1,000, that you're gonna hit grand slams and you're gonna move the needle. That's not how it works. Before we even had Instagram, this was all built, most of it. Now we've grown. We've grown since, because it's been already 5 years. But this was established, there was a base done. And the way to get the base done is by going and shaking hands and putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations. That is the only way to move the needle. Okay? Instagram's not gonna be it, because most people on Instagram are liars.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So like the
100%.
real guy is hard, it's hard
They
to
fabricate
distinguish.
their own
You know?
stories.
Yeah, so you gotta be super authentic, you gotta be super real. That's why I am at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I want, so much. But it's do the hard things. Instagram's too easy. It's not gonna work if it's easy. It's gotta be hard.
Yeah.
You gotta go to the places, and shake hands and put yourself up against the wall and tell somebody, all right, man, I'll be there Tuesday. You don't know, you don't even know, you gotta put yourself in a situation where now you're forced to learn it. And that's what we do every day. So if you focus on now what you're supposed to be doing right now, going back to for you,
Mm-hmm.
if you implement every day the tasks that you need to do to get through today and accomplish that next move, that little step, not step 20,
Right.
because we get caught up on step 20.
Yeah.
And thinking of step 20, you can't move. You're not that person. You're not that man. You're
Right.
not that woman. You haven't been built. You don't know. You don't have character to be able to move there.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing. So you have to. It takes a while. I tell people it takes 5 years, man. If you do something consistently for 5 years and you show up every day and you pay attention to right now, dude, in 5 years, man, you'll be a ninja.
Yeah.
I say you'll be a ninja out here slicing and dicing, because that's what you'll be. You'll become refined. You'll be more prepared. I feel like the first 5 years prepare you to then open up and be presentable. Be ready. We want to be presentable day one. Want to have the best website. That's why people take forever to do a website. Nah, I'm just not gonna do it. They're discouraged. The best thing is hold someone accountable. Call somebody and say, hey man, I need this done. How much is it? You can do it for $1,000. Man, thank you, bro. I'm gonna send you. Send it to them. Hold them accountable. Make it look nice, man. Look at it quick. It looks good. Proofread. It looks right, man. Just get it out there, bro. It doesn't matter.
Right.
There's so many other things that are more important that you gotta tackle. For real, man. And this is coming from someone that is very obsessed with what I do. I feel called to do with what I do. And from there, we've opened up other streams as well. We did something called the Nursery Growers, which is putting a plant doctor in everybody's nursery for a subscription fee. We can be a guy that just comes and touches up, or we can come and we can be a full-blown partner with you. Not partner, but we can be an asset that you hold us accountable on making sure everything looks number one and it's ready for when your clients need it. That's where we're at.
Right.
And in that business, it's a startup. We got our first check the other day. I have the picture of all of us, the group, okay? All the men, okay, that got appointed to do this with our first check. It's been a year and a half. Listen to this. It's been a year and a half.
Wow.
Since we didn't get our first check a year and a half later. Okay? But we've had to build and implement and become credible.
Yeah.
Okay, I've talked about it on podcasts. Here I am on another one talking about it. You gotta repeat. All right, I'm telling you what to do, and I'm showing you this is how you move. So every day, like today, they're working on the contract. It's not a general contract. Okay, it's a contract catered to that person because this is going to be growing product for California.
Wow.
Okay, it's millions of dollars.
Wow.
Okay, but look, our first opportunity is with a big opportunity that we're also going to learn. This hasn't been done before. There's people that have put themselves as a plant doctor that they will come and help you. There's people that can be on your payroll for 150 grand, and they can be your grower. But who has access to a grower where you can pick up the phone, hold somebody accountable, they come out and they actually look and tailor everything to make sure that your success is what it is, that you can achieve it. We created that. Okay. And we have staff, it's 5 of us. Okay, so it's not a game, it's real, it's legit. And we want to get to the point that we can even apply product. There's a lot of nurseries out here that they don't have the means to be able to go buy a big blower or to buy a big sprayer. And they're doing it with backpacks. It takes a lot longer, so they avoid doing it. Okay? They'll avoid doing it. When they don't know that you get the blower that costs 50 grand, but now you waste 20%. You save 80% of the product. And the chemicals, what's more expensive than the equipment.
Right.
But you got to have the credit. You got to have all this stuff to be able to access that. If the nursery growers, if it asks us for it, and it makes sense, we will buy the equipment to be able to go apply it at people's nurseries. So we take away that expense from them too.
Right.
Is
it like leased or you buy it and they?
No, man, that would be me knowing that this is a great opportunity to move forward. And even if there's not enough, that's another thing. Even though you don't have enough clients for it, if you have that 2 opportunity that you know that this can really move and you can film, you can create more opportunities by doing this, brother, the rest is the abundance will come, bro. Because that's what you need. You can't be like, oh, I gotta wait to have 10 customers to buy it. Right. Like in our industry, it's like, oh man, I don't have the big bobcat to move my palm tree because it costs $1,500 a month. But you're paying a guy to come and $200 an hour to use his machine and his time, and you're spending $4 grand a month. But you don't see like that because you're not focused on it. You're focusing on a million things as an entrepreneur.
It's crazy. So let's talk about vision. I see you are a strategist, as you call yourself, right? And what is your vision for? You already know how you started. You already know where you're going. But what's your vision from 10 years from now? What's your biggest
My vision,
goal?
man, in reality, man, is to do what God wants me to do. I ask Him every single day to put me where you need me and let me shine your lights. Okay, so that's number one, right? So I don't have what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know. Next year, I don't know. 10 years, I don't know. I'm gonna do what He needs me to do every day to be ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow we start off already on the right foot. Okay, knowing that we have to put away for later. Knowing that you have to save, knowing that you have to, buy assets, and you reach these levels as you go growing as an individual. But the biggest thing, man, the goal is to create abundance in this industry. The goal is to shift the perspectives of a lot of people.
Financial abundance, of course. There's some financial aspects. But what do you see as
abundance? The word abundance is in every category. In every category, and us as men, there's a lot of categories, and women too, there's a lot of categories. Right. Try to tap into as many of them as you can.
Give me 3 or 4 when you speak abundance. Bring abundance.
Abundance. Here we go. So by paying attention, abundance. Here we go. Abundance. I'm creating companies that will create abundance for people that get to use these things. Okay. So I am not looking to earn anything from none of these companies. Right. I don't want to take a penny from this. I'm not doing this from a money standpoint. I'm doing this from a shift to better people's standpoint. Right. Okay. Literally. Let's do this for the industry. God has me looking at the industry. He no longer has me looking just for myself. Myself is like the last thing on the plate, bro. Like we're good. We're Gucci. God has us super Gucci. We don't have to worry about that. He has us worrying about others. Yeah. Okay. So I'm focused on that, and I understand that. I understand my mission. I already gave my life up. Right. I'm a father of 3. I'm a husband, all of that as well. So God has allowed me to control my time.
A father of 3 and a husband. Yeah.
There you go. So God has allowed me to learn how to control my time, okay, and build a life around what matters, which starts with family, if
Mhm.
you're a family man,
Mhm.
and then from there branches out into everything else. Working on priorities at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But the vision is to be able to create something from start to finish, eventually, to help people that want to get into this industry actually do it, because this is the most intimidating industry to get in, is to become a nursery owner.
Yeah.
Because you have the most upfront cost with no guarantee of a sale if you set it up that way. You can do it other ways where you have contracts, but you don't know anything, so you're putting you against the wall. You need the nursery growers to help you. That's why we have the nursery growers. This thing that we're doing for California
Mhm.
is a startup.
Right.
So we're a big initial piece of the puzzle to actually get that moving, because they don't know that part. So we come in with our expertise. But I forgot exactly where I was. It's getting to a point where someone can feel confident coming in, where we have um, things set up in place that we can help people and guide people, not just with words, but also with real estate, also with setting up contracts on how to sell your product to who, create more channels to be able to sell product abundantly for the industry,
Mhm.
working on bigger things that are a lot bigger than what we got going on here. There's other people that God has appointed and giving opportunities to, that prayed for those opportunities, that we understood that the guy that showed up at the door looking for a job was the same guy that I prayed for when I looked up and I said, Lord, please send that guy so we can get this ball rolling. And that guy shows up, and he can be all black, but I show up with the white light that I asked God to give me your light and let me shine it. And I go like that and I put it in his soul.
Yeah.
And I instantly give this guy an opportunity where I love him, and I share that love of, I don't know if you're a bad person. I don't care, bro. You're here. I want to give you an opportunity. There's your light. If you show up every day with that light, you will become light, because that's what it is. And that's what we do out here.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is
Beautiful.
it is a beautiful thing. That's why I said we tap into abundance, because we work for God. Okay, our customers are what we do here to be able to move the needle here on earth. But at the end of the day, bro, we're setting ourselves up and we're learning. I'm nobody, dude. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. Every day I show up and I ask God, put me where you need me. Let me shine your light. Because if not, I might not be on the right path that day. Because I'm a human being and I sin every day. I ask God to tear the sin away from my soul, to help me. And guess what he's done? He's refined me, man.
Yeah.
I've gone through some of the darkest roads that have become the lightest roads. Literally, man. I can talk about the darkest places and how today, if I wouldn't have gone through there, I wouldn't be lit. And now I go back and everybody in there, I love. And I tell them that they are, and even if I don't tell them, they need to know this, that they were big parts of my life. Anything negative. I don't have enemies today.
Yeah.
So it's the picture's big. I move every day. I love moving and paying attention to the moment, because that's how you know if it's working. You get me? If you can move the needle a little every day, you know you're on the right track. How do you know you're on the right track? How do you know you're on the right track? Like today, God has us paying attention, right? Like I've said it before. So I'll give you a quick example, because I know that alarm's about to ring.
Yeah.
We have 3 buyers that buy product. I call them the dream team, all over town, all through the state, other states. We bring in product and we set up all these orders for all these big landscape companies, all these garden centers. We hold product, all this stuff. They drive a lot. I asked them, how many tanks of gas do you use a day? And he told me, a week. And he told me 4 tanks. I fill up 4 times a week, boss. So I did the math. It's $900 a month in gas. He's driving a 2013 Explorer. It breaks down. It needs maintenance, all this other stuff. So when I looked at it, it was paid off, but I had 10 grand into it. So I looked at it and I started thinking, I was like, man, how much, man, these, because Tesla, I see them everywhere. Like, man, what happens if we went electric? Like, there's so many benefits that would happen. Like, we can use it's a mobile office. We can use the screen as a computer, because it does have a desktop, so we can access Google Sheets. We can access all these different things that we're moving the needle on to become a more advanced nursery, like some of these other advanced
More
nurseries.
technological.
More technological. So this is perfect. Man, will the battery last all day? Will it work in the nursery, like in the dirt roads? Like all of these different things. Luckily for me, I know a few people in Tesla that are close to me that I asked these questions to, and they told me, man, I serviced one the other day, 300,000 miles with the same brakes, because it regens the brakes. And I was like, man, this is crazy. I was like, Lord, are you for real? Because the person that I want to give it to is the first person that showed up when I was at a point in my life where I wasn't sure if I can make that next step.
Wow.
And he was the person that God sent that I fought for to be my first right-hand man in one of my categories. And here he is today. And we're going to be giving him a newer Tesla Model Y, which is going to, mean so much for him. And that I'm saying that, guys, because it's a blessing from God. The reason why he's even receiving that today is because God is moving in his life, and he's giving up things that he thought that he needed to be or have, or whatever it is, to become a better husband, to become a better father, to then show up here better. Because if you ain't good at home, baby, you ain't gonna be good nowhere else. Okay, for the most part, it's never 100%, but for the most part, balance, right? And God is blessing him because God showed me that, yeah, you could do this. And by doing this, we're saving $500 a month. Okay.
Of course.
And he's driving a new car, and it's going to give a nice presence for the business.
True.
And on top of that, it's going to show people, like you said, it's going to give them that confidence and that inspiration that, dude, if this guy, and you're watching me do this, not me, you're watching God do this. I'm just here, but I'm a vessel. Literally. I didn't want to make this podcast about God, but the faith is big. And I can't sit here and lie, guys. I can't sit here and lie and tell you that, no, we did this and did that. You can. There are a lot of people that don't walk by faith, that they do that because you practice the same principles that are, just math at the end of the day. But when you walk by faith and not by sight, you move different. You feel different. Everything is different. Everything moves a little bit different, and you make moves that no one understands, and it's not meant for no one to understand. And I tapped into it from plants. And I know that anyone that wants to do something on the other side, guys, it's all possible. I'm a mentor and a coach today for this industry. And I never thought that, bro. My first video ever recorded was walking down this little road right here. And it's at the bottom of A's Ornamental's Instagram page if you guys want to go see it. Listen to how I sounded. Watch the first 2 or 3 up there. That's Willie starting off. I encourage you to go watch that. Because today I'm a refined, different individual, and I know this. But it's not who I was. You become this. So when you look at step 20 and you're planning on step 20, dude, you haven't even started. You will crash every day. Every day will be a disaster. You'll have a negative mindset, negative life. What I have learned is pay attention to right now. What can I do right now? You are here for a reason. How can I feed into you, bro? The cup runneth over. How can we pour into you, bro?
Yeah.
For real.
Thank you.
For real. And not just you, everyone. Because I know that what I'm meant to be with you right now. So it's like, what am I going to give Mr. Daniel? What am I going to give the people watching the podcast, listening to the podcast? And I know, and plants, guys, I love plants. If you want to follow me on A's Ornamental, you can go there. And we have other things happening that haven't been done yet. They're working on that I can't talk about. But we have bigger things happening. And
maybe when they happen, then we can talk.
When they happen, we'll talk about it, man. But it's all based on what God wants us to do.
Of course.
Like if there was a big cash out, a big payout in something, it's like, Lord, what do you want us to do with this? Because our flesh will be like, oh, I'm gonna buy a Porsche, I'm gonna buy a Ferrari, bro. I'm gonna one up this guy, that hater, bro. I can't wait. And it's like, no. That's no. How can we continue to move? Because if we're moving and we get blessed, it's not to stop and move the focus. You got to be obsessed, bro. That's the other thing. There's too many distractions. People move distracted. You don't even move, bro. Moving in a circle. You need to be focused, man. I don't care what's going on around the world. I don't care what's going on in the marketplace. I don't care, bro. You create your opportunities. You create your future. Okay? We can be slow, but make 2-3 moves that turn on the machine again, and we're moving again. But how do you do that? By paying attention, okay? And when you feel like when everything makes sense to move, but there's a lot of negativity, that's when you move. Because every single time that I've been pinned up, like buying a piece of real estate, I go give that deposit that month, and it's the worst month of my life. I'm like, Lord Jesus, Lord, what are we gonna do? You got it, bro. I know you told me this is what it is, and I know we're gonna figure it out. I know I just don't have time right now to do it because you got me focused on other things, but I know it's gonna work. Because I know it's gonna work. Because you just know, guys. You know when you know what I'm talking about. And you just go by and you go and you do it, man. And it's like, man, you're a little, I called it, a little butt naked on the side of the road. You're kind of like, vulnerable. But that's where faith comes in, man. You can't build something or be a part of something big if you don't have faith that it's gonna happen, man.
Mhm.
And that faith is not just I saw the vision happen. No, the faith is while you're walking, bro. And then we always talk about I can't wait for that to happen. It's like, yo, it's happening right now. Pay attention, for real.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't wait. I can't wait to live in. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to be at 100 grand. I can't wait, bro. What about now? I can't wait for right now. I can't wait for this podcast today,
Right.
bro. Legit.
Same.
You know, I can't wait for the meeting I have now at 11. I can't wait. You know, that's where you tap into more, and move a little different. And I love everybody in the industry. You guys ever need anything from me, you can always reach out. I'm called to do something big for the industry, and I know this. God wants me to move this way, so that's why I am this way. It's not cocky. It's that I know I have to say this. I have to, because there's people that need that out there. And if I keep closing myself and I keep burying myself, then I'll never tap into what can be for you. Because maybe I'm the messenger that God sent right now to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I don't do this, then what am I here for, bro? Yeah. For me? To talk about me? Forget about me, bro.
Right.
For real.
Agree.
Okay. So that, you know, our podcast too, like, is shifting that to that. You know, and you know, that's another thing. I was raised, you don't talk about politics in business, you don't talk about religion in business with your customer. And I understand 1,000%, because most people don't know how to walk or maneuver in that area, because they're not refined men. But guess what? I talk about faith and politics with everybody, whoever I want to, okay? Because we respect each other, we're refined, we're not wild.
Right.
You know? So that's why you don't do it. But I had to overcome that. I had to realize that as a man, that what I was taught in many different ways, many different things, were incorrect. Or like for me today. Let's say they're not incorrect, but they're incorrect for me today. And yeah, bro. You have any other questions, bro? I just wanna give
many more episodes to come, because there's a lot to learn.
Bro, there's a lot to learn, man. There's a lot to learn, and if anybody ever wanted to reach out, I do one-on-ones. I can help you move the needle in many different ways. We have packages. You go to the plantmovementnetwork.com, and you can check everything out there. You can go on Instagram, Age Ornamental Nursery, the Plant Movement Podcast. You can go on any of those link trees right there, and you can find out everything that we do. You know, I'm here to help you grow, and I need you to understand that. I'm not here to fill my pocket up with whatever money you're gonna give me. The money's just to compensate mentally for you know, for the worldly way. You know, let's say I'm here on Earth, you gotta get compensated something for your time. Right. You know, but I've seen it move the needle big time. I had mentors in my life, and some of them never even spoke, and I just watched them move because I got to work next to them, and those mentors moved the needle the most for me, because I got to watch how they operated as a person of this. And I thought I had to be like this. But then I realized I don't have to be like this. This is what someone else thought they had to be like. And now I'm hiding behind this guy's shadow, or whoever's shadow. And it's like, no, bro, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do what I feel right. You know, I'm going to do what God wants me to do.
Yep.
And I don't care. You know, it is what it is. I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I know that I'm here to do something for those that I am maybe a piece of their tea. I can be a little grain of salt, you know, a sugar in their tea.
Thank you.
You know, so guys, God bless you. Know that everything's possible, guys, in many, many ways. And there's people in the industry that are so honed in and dedicated to create for the future that you can be a part of something crazy too. So don't forget that.
Love you guys so much for the experience.
Thank you, man. Love you, bro.
Thank you so much for all the information.
What a podcast.
No, it was great. It was great. I really enjoyed it. As you can see, I was touched by many things that he said. So thank you for sharing your knowledge, sharing your passion.
Yeah.
Your passion it's not focused on one single item. It's a multitude of.
It's everything, man. The
channels.
Industry, man. It's the industry and us men. You know, I tell my team right now I'm gonna have a very impactful meeting with my team, because we're gonna give the Tesla.
Right.
And right now we're working on the next phase of what the business is going to turn out to be, and then maybe work and tweak it for the industry to be able to present that to the industry, the marketplace. But it's more of where we've come from. I'm gonna have the team there, all the big players of the team, where we've come from, where we were, where we are today, and where we're going. Not just as a company, but as all of them, as men and women. Okay, where they started off at and where they are today, and how they move and act, how they respect themselves, how everything is, because I put one thing first, is God. Okay, and we move that way. Okay, not crazy, You know, you can go party, go drink your drink on Saturday, get trashed. That's cool. I don't care because we're human.
Yeah.
Come back, okay? And I want this to be your good place. I want this to be a place where you have your brother and sister right there that we work together, we ride together, we die together. That's what we have. You get me? I call them the dream team. Okay, and this is what we're here to do. And we're gonna go over there and we're gonna talk about how God is blessing us and He's showing it. And we're moving the needle for the industry.
Yeah.
Trendsetters, pioneers for the industry. We see it and we're taking action because we know that what we have is not ours. They're tools. The money's a tool. It's not mine. It's not me to go bless myself. Okay, right. It's to have time and to be able to do things that make sense. Okay, we're gifting a vehicle, but saving $500 a month for the company, which is amazing. So if this works, and in the summer months, it actually has battery by the end of the day, we'll need some more of them because we'll be able to save $500 more on the other vehicles as well.
For sure.
That drive the same. So, guys, we love you, man. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Willie.
Thank you, Daniel. God bless you guys. Wow.